There is a weird dynamic in Era of Chaos when it comes to upgrading your heroes. As you can see in this event, I still have 7,650 points. By the way, this happened on 256 as well as 323 as well on both servers. So I have about decent number of points, and I'm still quite far away from the 12,000. I'm expecting to get to 12,000 either on Sunday or on Monday when I'm gonna get the 3.5 generational heroes. However, if you look at the Duel of Champions on 323, and this is why I added this server specifically, because it's a crazy server from that aspect. I just lost first place in Duel of Champions because, well, here is Khalid. And then what happened here? Well, it's not Khalid yet. Other players started getting Khalid too. So if you check my report, basically I won my last 2 matches, but I lost this one with Khalid. Then I lost this one also with Khalid. But they are basically clones of Megalodon. So this is a crazy mechanic that when you have like 6 battles, they clone the same player. And this means that I'm pushed down basically in the rankings, and I will not be able to recover. What does this mean? This means that on Saturday I can just do a 3 run and I can let the other player have first place. What am I missing out on specifically? If you check out the rewards for the ranks, I'm gonna get everything for 4,000, but I'm missing out on 40 diamonds. Altogether 3 universal hero tokens and 5 spell scrolls. Is it fine to miss out on it? Absolutely. Now, I would have preferred, obviously, if everyone got the hero at the same time, because the only way to get the hero, there are 2 ways. One of them is if you spend at least 4,000 diamonds, then you get the hero, or 6,000 diamonds, then you definitely get the hero, depending on where you are in terms of points. And the other way is if you spend some paid packs, which doesn't pay off. But either way, this type of strategy unfortunately capitalizes on spending incorrectly, because, you know, if you spend with the intimidation, you buy these 2,000 packs, these ones, you spend incorrectly because there is no cumulative spending this week. If you want to spend these diamonds, spend it next week from Wednesday to Sunday. But there is no cumulative spending, so this is like diamonds flush down the toilet because you would get the hero for free anyway. Now, incorrect spending, but then you want to recoup your losses. How do you recoup your losses? Well, you take equity away from your guildmates. This is why some servers go a lot farther than others, because if there is order in a server, meaning that we agree that we're not gonna take equity away from each other just because someone gets the hero earlier, in that case we have an easier situation, because it's a win-win for everyone, believe it or not. Because this time, well, I can let Megalodon get away with this Duel of Champions first place, because it hurts me to take the diamond purchases now instead of just giving away 3 universal hero tokens. After all, I have a ton of universal hero tokens already, at least for 1 hero, but possibly 2. And oh, these rewards are crazy. Let's see my universal hero token stash. I'm not playing this account that intensively, but either way, here's this 418. What does this mean? It means that I need 300 in total. As soon as I get Khalid, I will 4-star Khalid immediately. Others are not in a position to do so, because, for example, I know that what Megalodon did, it was incorrect actually, as well. He 4-starred a hero called Fiona. This hero. And for me, Fiona is 2-star. Maybe you remember that I was limping with 2-star heroes for months in this account. For months. Not like a week, but months. Because I knew that I need my 4 stars on 2 heroes. One of them is Drakon, and the other one is the new hero that I'm gonna get, Khalid. And then the other hero we will see if I use other heroes at all. But I can already 2-star the other hero. So this is the important thing to understand. So I'm gonna get Khalid relatively soon. Soon meaning like in a 2 to 3 days. And I've decided on giving up equity. Now, what happened if, let's say, other players decided on knocking me down from first place in the arena? That would be another story. Because if, let's say, all of these players started buying those packs incorrectly, all of them, and I am the odd one out because I passed the marshmallow test, meaning that I can wait without problems, then all of a sudden I'm gonna earn how many? Like 230, 380, 350, so 150 diamonds less a day if I went to 4th place. 150 less a day. And then this implies that all of a sudden I won't be able to afford to not spend on the hero, let's say if it's just 2000 diamonds. Because then I would lose out on not having the hero more. And this is a lose-lose relationship with like everyone. Because if they pay incorrectly and get the hero, then I have to pay incorrectly as well to keep my position. And then the whole server loses. Right now, if it's just Duel of Champions, I can look aside a bit. But this is when you know that whether your guildmates understand the game or not. And this is when you know whether you can depend on them or not, rely on them or not. And here, I think I see some limited level of understanding in this specific case, because this is what the Duel of Champions battles symbolize. And obviously it sets me back like second instead of first place. Well, I can survive this, not a problem, like 40 diamonds, it's not a big deal. And the universal hero tokens, it's like 400 value in total. But I can get it from other sources because I didn't 4-star Fiona in the first place. So I have an easier time. But if you want your server to succeed, maybe discussing this with your guildmates helps. Because then all of you can be winners. Because what depends, like you can get equity from the game that doesn't cost you anything. For example, by making sure that you don't spend a cent on this, or not cent, but don't spend a single diamond beyond the 1 diamond packs twice, and you refuse to spend these 2000 diamonds even once on this, and you will spend next week during limited time cumulative spending. What does this mean? In that case, imagine that you spend the same 8000 diamonds that you would spend, or let's say just 4000 diamonds, okay? You spend 4000 diamonds next week during cumulative spending time, like 4000 diamonds more, then the game gives you 2000 diamonds of value at least, if not more. And this is from thin air. This is not from another player. It's not a zero sum or a negative sum game. It's basically something that if you can wait, the game rewards you. And the game rewards everyone. So you get it from an external source. However, if you purchase the hero and start screwing your guildmates over, in that case what happens is that you take away equity from the other player and you seize that equity in exchange for forfeiting that 2000 diamonds that the game just gives you from thin air. And what's ironic is that you get less equity from other players than what you would get if you could just wait a couple of days. This is the tragic maths behind the game, and most players don't understand this, or even if they do, they cannot fight their emotions. And it's like, I've been waiting for this hero for so long, I want to get the hero right now and I want to climb the rankings. And then your reward is gonna be that you're gonna be less competitive as a player in the long run, and your whole server is gonna be less competitive in the long run, which makes you even less competitive in the future, because in server versus server or guild versus guild battles, you will lose. So if you understand this, then you cooperate with other players and you synchronize when you get different purchases. And then you will be able to take correct decisions. Same thing happens, for example, this account, I'm not the biggest hoarder on this account, but I still have like this one, I can get more. I have like 4 hero armors, I can get more. 4 of these chests, 4 deluxes. This is the old deluxe, which is the same as prestigious H or similar. I have like 7 prestigious artifacts, so I can choose to get like anything that I'll multiply later. I have a chest H. So this is not my biggest hoarding, like out of all. I could hoard a lot more, actually. But you see that I'm preparing for the future even here. And if we check, I have 173 covenants because I cannot use that covenant on anything at the moment, anything useful. So plus 6 envoy, 5 apple of Eden. And once again, my other account on 256 has a lot more going on. Like a lot more of these artifacts being hoarded. Now, if someone started attacking me left and right because they took all these artifacts and leveled them up and they get stronger because of that, in that case, I can choose between giving up equity or just accepting second place, you know. And if both the second place and the first place players start doing a spending war, like artifact spending war, for example, in that case, what happens? It's crazy. In that case, both of you are gonna lose eventually, because once Vidomina comes, even if it's November, you will not be able to put anything in the cauldron. Even if it's only November or whenever or December. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with hoarding until then. Because I know that once the time comes, I will get more than 100,000 diamonds worth of stuff. Even if it's not the top, most important stuff. And until then, I still have an edge, somehow. So this is the short-term mindset versus the long-term mindset. And the winners are forged in a way that you balance perfectly between short-term mindset and long-term mindset, in a sense that your account is competitive enough, but just as competitive as you absolutely need it to be. Not a bit more competitive. And if someone beats you, well, that's a signal. Then you can choose what to sacrifice out of your hoarding. And then you sacrifice something little and you take back your position. And then you wait until you get attacked again. This is a little signal, once again. And the others think that they are fighting against you, your full strength, and you're not even showing like a fraction of your real strength. Because they have no idea what else you're hoarding. This is the long game that I'm playing basically on all my accounts, and everyone else I'm advising are doing the same. Because simply, just to get 150 diamonds difference here between, let's say, first place and fourth place, 150 diamonds. If it's 150, you can see the rewards actually. Oh, I still haven't taken some of these that we never need. Why would I need to take like gold? It doesn't make any sense, right? But there is the ranking, I think is it? Yeah, it is. So actually it's not 150, it's 160 diamonds. So 160 diamonds a day. 1,600 per 10 days. 16,000 per 100 days. 48,000 per 300 days. And it's about 52 to 54,000 a year. But if I can expect to get more than 100,000 diamonds within half a year, even like sacrificing first place in favor of 4, I have a positive return. In exchange, those who have a fragile ego will be hurt that they are not first but fourth. Now, given that fragile egos don't win competitions, I'm just giving up Duel of Champions, first place, for the week. And I'll stick to my principles which is just stick to what you stick to. So not spending. Now, on this server specifically, maybe it was my fault because I didn't exactly coordinate anything. I didn't say anything about this. On other servers, if you have an agreement with someone else, then you stick to the agreement. And this implies that the mistake made by the purchase, if the agreement is that we're not basically getting a positive ROI, return on investment, on the new purchase by using the new purchase in any top list that player versus player this includes. Duel of Champions. This includes Glory Arena because there is a top list here as well. This includes Battle of the Gods. Actually, I won this one last time. At least on this server, Battle of the Gods, where it cannot even be proven, so there is a trust issue because you never know whether the new hero is an adjutant. You will never figure it out. You will not see the adjutants on screen, most likely. So this is a trust issue. Where are top lists? Where else? Well, there is a Stadwick event, you see. It's still new, but there is a top list here. And then there is gonna be a top list in Stadwick Defense and other places. And the City of Eternal Punishment or Endless Inferno. I'm just getting these graphics all the time because I think I managed to load BlueStacks 5 instead of 4, that's why. Because I have both BlueStacks. So that's what's happening. And for some reason, I am still like way ahead of everyone else. How can that be? Aren't you using the new hero? Like you could. We didn't have any agreement, so if you beat me here, then power to you, right? I cannot do much about it. Then I'll sacrifice whatever we need to sacrifice here. I think I see this in the rules. Because there is a top list per server. You see? Being second instead of first sacrifices 1,500 of this. Now 7,000 of this currency is 1,400 diamonds worth. So 1,400 is like 280 diamonds worth of stuff in orange emblems. So being first or second, this is a big difference already. And all these places, you have some sort of an extra advantage if you have the new hero. And essentially, by taking a bad decision financially and spending now instead of next week, you take a larger loss than what you get from your guildmates, but you refinance, so you minimize your losses by taking equity away from your guildmates in the short run. Now, let me know in the comments what you think about this analysis, because I'm just holding a mirror. This is the sad truth of the rules of the game. This Era of Chaos is a very competitive and a very predatory PvP game in a sense, very similar to poker, that in poker all the fight, all the play goes for the blinds. If there were no blinds, everyone would just play pocket aces and go all in before the flop, without exception. And then that would not be a good game, because no one would win, well, a casino could win, so maybe it would not even be worth playing. Action is there because of the blinds. Here, we have action partially because there are top lists everywhere. Top list in the arena, top list in Glory Arena, top list in Duel of Champions. This is a highly competitive game where you compete against your guildmates, you compete against your server mates, even other guilds. There is competition encoded in Era of Chaos everywhere within the server. And therefore, this is a lot more predatory experience, like Era of Chaos, than, for example, Raid Shadow Legends, than, for example, what I see from Godforge, than, for example, what I see in many other games, because there is competition there as well. But you only see this competition at the very top. You're not not experiencing this level of competition in some, let's say, in a server where you're competing to just get to the top 10. See, just to get from 11 to 10, you get some extra rewards. Or from 10 to 6, it's a big jump. You're not experiencing this kind of everyday competition in other games. This is why you can help each other in other games a lot more than in Era of Chaos, because here, let's face it, everyone wants to win. I don't blame anyone for wanting to win. But then let's take this a bit further. What happens, for example, if let's say for example, say that there is an alliance between Megalodon and me. There isn't, but let's suppose that there was. And let's suppose that Butcher Sabine is challenging us. Let's suppose that, for example. It's not happening, this is not reality, but let's suppose that this is the case. What happens in this case? Now, it is unfair to kick the player out from the guild, right? It is absolutely unfair. It's doable, we have the right to do so. But wait a minute, is it unfair in reality? Because what if I told Megalodon in this specific case that, listen, let's collude. Let's leave the guild ourselves. Let's create an alt account. Let's give that alt account the guild. That will be the guild leader. Let's go to another guild and just knock everyone else out from the middle city. I have the right to do that. And Megalodon has the right to accept that. And we would make Butcher Sabine's life like hell. Right? Which we don't want to, because we're like in one guild, and despite the competitive nature, we're helping each other. Even without agreements. So there are no issues in here. But if we can do this ourselves and we can leave others, then if an other player violates the agreement that we have, in that case, it is our duty to kick that player out, because if we didn't, otherwise we would kick ourselves out. And we would form another guild, and there you go, it's the same effect. And it's not against the rules. So this is when it gets like really interesting, and I don't even know the full consequences, the full impact of all these. And let me finish with one final thought, like food for thought. What happens if, let's say, we have like 3-team game modes? There is another server, he's like spending quite a lot. You see all the heroes, it's kind of obvious, at least $200 are spent, possibly more. And there's like 2 good teams. One of them is a Castle Tower Order team, and other one is a Conflux Cov team. With some, he did it smartly because the tower unit is also an alt here. So this is a strength team, and he chose to build 2 separate teams. And I chose to stick to one team. Well, actually, I also have some castle. So if you check out my defense, I also have a castle second team. So castle tower second team, it's this one. But I'm strengthening it with some of the units. And actually, I have a Inferno Fortress hero. You can criticize this layout. It's not the game where I really need to do much. But anyway, you see that I have my Inferno Fortress main team, and that's it. But then suppose that I start building the second team, and suppose that another player, let's say the second place player, starts challenging me in the arena because he's investing all his money, all his resources, everything in the first team. And in that case, I'm forced to strengthen my first team. And I cannot strengthen my second team, so I will lose in cross-server battles where I need 3 teams. I lose everywhere. So this is a lose-lose relationship once again. So I might as well, for example, in EU 256, I might as well agree with the guildmate that I have, that I'm second, that if I'm doing like a catch-up job, in that case, I might as well build my second team before going all in the first team only. I'm quite far from this, by the way, but if there was a situation, I'm quite certain that we would need to form an agreement about this. Not because I want to give up equity in favor of the other player, but because it is my interest that the server is stronger, because I'm part of that server or a merged set of servers, and I want to maximize my equity by maximizing the equity of the server. And in this case, I might as well just have to do the challenging in the way that in that case I build a second team, and then there will be no questions asked if I become stronger. This is another food for thought. Let me know how you manage this if you're more advanced than me, for example. For example, you've been playing for 4 years. Interesting thoughts.